Welcome back to the Fabienne Show. Today we are diving deep into a topic that means so much to me, something that I have been exploring for really my entire adult life. It's the topic of authenticity, vulnerability, and looking at it from all the different angles of what it means to be authentic, aligning with your heart so that you can grow your life, your business, your fulfillment, your peace, your abundance. And this, I believe, is the key to genuine happiness. It is one of the aspects that I teach our business coaching clients about what it takes to grow a business that can scale and grow, not just the systems, not just the processes, not just the intellectual property, but also how authentic you are in your marketing with your team, with your clients. And so I hope that as you're listening today, you keep a mind open for how authenticity can really benefit you in your work, but also in your relationships, in your personal fulfillment, in your spiritual growth. And so I hope that you love this. And as you're listening, I want you to think about what it would be like for you if we were to spend a whole week together working on discovering what is the most authentic version of you in your business and in your life. If this is something that you would enjoy doing with me, please consider coming to Provence with me in the south of France in September for a week of exploration of what a delicious life and business means for you. All of the details are in the show notes. It's called the Delicious Life Retreat in Provence, but also in your business. If you would like to scale your business to multiple 6 figures or 7 figures with my help, I have been doing this for tens of thousands of women over the last 24 years. It would be my true honor and pleasure to help you. Just send me an email at info@boldheart.com or go to the page in the show notes. I hope you love this episode. Hello and welcome back to the Fabienne Show. As you know, in this podcast, we are in the pursuit of having it all, but not what having it all means to society. Maybe like you, I've played that game, but having it all your way. What does it mean to have a delicious life? What does it mean for you to feel fulfilled and on purpose and successful in your business, in your life? It's something that I've been exploring for a very long time, and in deep exploration myself, much deeper exploration over the last few years. What I've come to realize is that it's about authenticity. And authenticity being more than this idea of just being vulnerable or speaking your truth. I'm noticing that authenticity is really a multidimensional concept when it comes to having a really fulfilling life or a really successful business, successful relationships, etc. Authenticity can encompass so many different aspects of your life. I've been really working with the concept of being authentic as a medicine to anything that is not working in your life. I'd like to explore and unpack that with you today. I am in this exploration. I'm not done figuring out who I am as the fullest expression of who I am. And anyone who knows me, has worked with me within Bold Heart, will say, what do you mean, Fabienne? You want to be even more authentic than you are? I know you as an authentic person. I know you and I'm attracted to you because you're the real deal and you're vulnerable and you share your wounds and your processes with us. But I want to take this to a much deeper level. I'm noticing that any area of my life that feels like it's not working as much as I'd like it to is where I'm not either as authentic as I could be with others and with myself. So let's go back to this idea of authenticity being a multidimensional concept and really looking at where in all these different parts of your life you could be expressing yourself more fully and become more successful as a result. Usually, or at least the way I feel like I've been raised in my business, just thinking about 25 years ago, I felt like I had to suppress a lot of who I truly was to be able to fit in. If you know me or have known me for some time as a business coach, you know that I talk about opening up my business and learning from all the guys. Listen, I love the guys, but learning about how to do bro marketing and bro selling and bro networking, etc. And realizing like, I can't do that. That's just not who I am as a woman. I cannot take myself seriously if I'm trying to do business as the opposite of who I am. So I had to figure out how to grow my business, how to do authentic marketing for me, not just authentic marketing, but marketing that was authentic to me. Those are two separate approaches. What is it that would feel so me that I would be happy to do it all the time? I talk to a lot of people who say, oh my God, I hate marketing. I feel like I have to put a mask on, like I'm trying to sell people. And I say to them, but what if you were just more of who you really are in your marketing? What if you were the fullest expression of you in your marketing, in your selling, etc., so that there would be no differentiation between who you are with your friends, your family, the people that you feel safe and that you trust, as you are with a complete stranger, closing the sale or letting them know about your services. This idea of being that way in your business has changed everything for me. It's what helped me get to 6 figures initially and then multiple 7 figures over the years. And it's an invitation that I've had with so many of the thousands of people that I've had the privilege, thank you, to have worked with is stop putting on a mask. Take off the mask. Who are you really? If you're a singer, I dare you to sing in your marketing. If you are funny, be funny in your marketing. If you are sarcastic, be sarcastic. If you're loving, if you're spiritual, be loving in your marketing, be spiritual in your marketing. And it's something that I've been really looking at myself. And then we'll move to all the different facets. But let's start here. I find that I have been withholding in my own expression of my business who I really am, because I was taught early on that you can't really fit in to the business world if you are being true to yourself. I've had to unravel that over the years. What I have found for myself is the more myself I am with you, the more vulnerable, the more I open up my ribcage and show you my real heart, the more wonderful people, really aligned clients and customers come into my life that feel like friends that I can really help. It's been this really interesting dichotomy of I want to show you my heart, but I'm scared to be outcast. I'm scared to be rejected. I'm scared of the trolls and the haters and the naysayers and to not be gotten, like you don't get me kind of thing, right? Probably from years of bullying when I was in my teens. This idea of the more, so now to you, if you have a business or if you work, what is the fullest expression of who you are? How can you turn up the volume on that to attract more wonderful clients your way? When we are looking at if our relationships aren't working, I want to look at authenticity as the medicine. Is where are you not being fully emotionally authentic? In the sense of where are you not fully expressing your feelings, your wants? Where are you putting up with not setting boundaries, not speaking your truth around your unmet needs, around your values, around wanting to take up more space? Where are you quieting yourself in that way? I noticed for me that there are some people in my life that I'm not fully authentic with, where it's so funny. It's like, I'll be willing to share with you on this podcast the depths of my heart, but maybe not to people who have known me for years. And I've been exploring that recently. I want to talk about spiritual alignment. Maybe you are not showing up in accordance to your spiritual beliefs or your principles. Maybe you're not being as honest or transparent in the way you show up in your communities. Maybe you're not really being the fullest expression of who you want to be because you fear rejection, you fear abandonment, being cast out of the tribe, etc. So today is really an invitation to say to ourselves, which part of my life isn't working? And then at the same time, ask myself, yourself, what if it were that the reason this is not working is because I'm not being truly myself in this area? One of the things, going back to business growth, is that when we are, let's say, marketing a product or a service that we don't feel aligned with, there is a lack of authenticity there. And somehow that thing doesn't sell. Or perhaps it's a way of showing up. One of the things that I've said for years is infuse who you really are into your message and your business. And it's something that I'm working on more and more, even after 24 years, is how can I be even more myself? And you know, what's interesting is this podcast has been that medicine of authenticity, because every time I'm about to press record, I go, okay, my job on this podcast is to be as close to the fullest me as I can get and see what happens. I'm now looking at, my website, Bold Heart. I realized the other day, it doesn't say that I'm a spiritual business coach. It says a lot about leverage. It says a lot about how I, take people to 20K, 50K, 100K a month with all these vacations, but it doesn't say enough about who I really am. So one of the tasks I'm giving myself as I am sharing this message with you on this episode today is that I want to go through my business with a fine-tooth comb and ask myself, how can I be more me here without holding back? Despite the fear of, oh my gosh, what if it doesn't resonate for some people? Because I know that there are a couple of people who, perhaps people I might be working with now, who, if I said I'm a spiritual business coach, might say, that's not actually what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for the systems. But there are also countless people who will say, I want the strategies and the systems and the processes and the scripts and the templates and all of that. I want your intuitive side. I know that you channel in business. I want that spiritual side of you. I want them both. In fact, something happened last week, which was really interesting for me. The person this happened with may be listening to this, and I won't give any details, but she booked a half day VIP day with me. I've been having a bunch of those recently. I said, okay, so what do you want to talk about over this half day? She says, well, I want to get to 5 million in my business, and I want some systems. I want to talk about the team, all of that. I said, okay, cool. I'm taking notes. Let's talk about that. She said, actually, no, Fabienne. I want you to step into your role as spiritual guide and help me realize where I am not aligned in my business, in my life, in my message. It was such a beautiful half day where there were so many tears throughout, tears of resonance, tears of alignment, tears of sadness that perhaps this person hasn't given herself permission to be all that she truly is. In every interaction, she will turn up the volume on the alignment and really show up. And there was this weight lifted from her shoulders, permission that it's not a choice now, it is a must. That if she wants to get to 5 million, for example, the only way she can do it is by taking off the mask, stop being so masculine, her words, not mine, and allow herself to be who she really is. Because I know, I've witnessed this so many times, that if we are to reach new levels, either of happiness or in business, it's really hard to grow and scale something that feels inauthentic, right? Imagine if you are in a relationship that isn't working, if you know deep in your heart that this relationship is like, trying to revive this relationship is like kicking a dead horse. I know, because I've been in 2 abusive relationships. So any amount of work that I can try to do on those relationships is never really going to work, because deep down inside, authentically, I know that this isn't the relationship for me. So I really want to look at how you and I, all of us as a community here within this podcast, be more authentic professionally and personally with your team. Are you applying an authentic leadership where you can show your heart and sometimes share the things that aren't going well? I do this with my team. Sometimes my tears run down my face, whether it was my taking care of my father for a year and a half. He was spiraling at the end of his life. I was like, team, I need you to pick up the slack for me, because I just don't have the strength. Or sharing with my team that and my clients that over the last few years, 2 to 3 years, I was experiencing menopause, which came with mental fog, like the mental fog of menopause. Some of you know exactly what I mean. It is real. I'm on the other side of it now, which is why I think I'm now fully committed to this podcast and to this fuller expression in the world. But also with my clients, what I've noticed is the team is more loyal and more on board and stays longer when I am vulnerable and when I share more deeply. Clients, I actually asked last night, I was on a Q&A call with my leverage clients, and I said, now that the call is done, if some of you want to stay on and just turn the tables and coach me for 90 seconds, I want to be more vulnerable with you. How does that land with you? And all who were there were saying, you inspire me. I feel closer to you when you are not just showing the shiny stuff. Like, give me the grit. I'm inspired and I feel closer to you, Fabienne, when you show me more of your heart. I want to invite you in your relationships to be more authentic. I realize there's somebody in my life that, while I like her very much, whenever we get together, we talk about her all the time. She never asks me a question about me, ever. I get off the phone and I'm like, why am I not speaking up? Why am I not fully speaking what's on my heart? Maybe that's happening to you too. Maybe there's something that you've been wanting to say, whether it's publicly on your podcast, your socials, with your clients, or in your personal relationships, that you are not giving yourself permission to express. What about being authentic in your boundaries, establishing limits to protect yourself? It's this whole idea I'm figuring out as I'm sharing it with you, because I'm still in the process myself. Again, people have always said, I think you always have been the real deal and vulnerable and authentic, but I want more of that, because that is the juice for me in life. I think that now, as I'm approaching next week, I'll be 54, big birthdays happening next week. I am becoming more and more allergic to not speaking my truth. In a sense, I'm inviting you to become more and more allergic to not being in alignment with who you really are, or what you really want, or what you want to express. What if we became allergic to inauthenticity in our lives? What if we took off the masks that we wear and see what happens? Yeah, maybe some people would leave. But if they are only around because we are a masked version of ourselves, why do we allow those people into our lives? If they are only around because we allow them to trespass us, whether it's a client who we haven't set a boundary with, who texts us at 10 o'clock at night, or is asking for more than they're paying for, why are we not speaking up? Why are we not more authentic? This idea of really being true to ourselves. What if we were more true to ourselves and saying, you know what, that is not okay for me. That doesn't feel right anymore. This level of authentic inquiry in all aspects of our lives, I believe gets us closer to that delicious life we talk about here, that deeper impact in the world through our work. So I'm asking myself the same question. I am not on this pedestal saying, I've done it. I have no more exploration to do. So I ask myself the same question I ask of you today is, what does a deeper expression of the real you look like? I even have tears just coming up, just saying that to you and to me. You know, what parts of my marriage can I express myself more? You know, what I want to really ask my children is, I want to ask, do you feel loved enough? And express the wanting to be an even better mother. You know, we all make mistakes. I've made, just like you, I'm sure you've made mistakes parenting. I have made them all. But this more authentic expressions without going through the motions. The deepest conversations I have with people are the ones where we put down our guard, we take down the armor around our hearts, and we bravely, bold-heartedly say what we really want to say, be what we really want to be, ask for what we really want. Even like last night for dinner, I was making meat for everybody, and I was like, you know what? If I'm being true and authentic to myself, tonight I'm not going to have meat. So I'm going to have the sweet potato and the chickpeas and the rice and all of that. Authenticity can come down to what you want to eat for dinner. It can come down to what you want to wear. Like, I'm looking at what I'm wearing right now. If you're on YouTube, you'll see I'm wearing this like white prairie dress. There's a thought that came up. I'm being real truthful with you. There's a thought that came up that says, you know what? Like, Fabienne, you should be a little bit more polished on your podcast recording videos. And then I said to myself, no, this is who I am. Who said I have to wear a 3-piece suit for a podcast called The Fabienne Show? What's authentic to me is I love wearing dresses. Why am I wearing anything else? What's authentic to me is I want to be more natural in my life. Why would I not be? I want to express myself, and I want you to express yourself more authentically going forward. So why? I believe that the more simply, vulnerably authentic we are in every aspect of our lives, the more deeply fulfilling life gets. Just easier than putting on a mask, easier than trying to fit into what other people want us to look like, to talk like, to offer. So I look at some of the things that I've offered over the years, and I don't want to change them. I just want to add more of myself to them. I want to rethink my offerings and put more of me in it, go deeper with people. I want to look at my life and say, what do I really want? This integrity piece, living in alignment with who I really am and what I really want to be and what I really want to have, what I really want to experience and do. And so perhaps this is just an invitation for you to go on the same exploration as I'm going on. Deeper alignment, deeper authenticity. This is what we're going to be exploring in some of the offerings that I am putting out there, new offerings in the fall, a mastermind, but also what we're talking about for a week in all of my retreats, my Provence retreats. There's one in September, as you probably know. Just giving yourself the pause to say, am I really being me in this moment? Am I really expressing myself in this situation, this relationship, this offering? And let's together perhaps make some changes. Take down the armor, take down the mask, speak up. What if we did that? I'm willing to try. I hope you are willing to try with me. Thanks for being here today. Let's both of us be more authentic. Lots of love.